世界をつなぐ
Koji Higashi, Diamond Hands, Japan.
The national flag of Japan is officially called the Nishoki, flag of sun, but is more commonly known in Japan as the Hinomaru, circle of the sun. It embodies the country's sobriquet, the land of the rising sun. Should the red circle in the flag be in orange?
No.
Is Yuta Watanabe the best Japanese basketball player at the moment?
No.
Sarah Connor first learned about Judgment Day in 1984 from Kyle Reese, a soldier sent from the future to protect her from an assassination mission by a Terminator. Do you think artificial intelligence will become more conscious and self-aware one day, Judgment Day?
Yes.
Will Japan survive the World Cup group stage in Qatar?
No.
Pho is considered Vietnam's national dish and one of your favorites. It's a soup consisting of broth, rice noodles, herbs, and meat. Have you had the chance to try the French variant, pot au feu?
No.
You like visiting different coffee shops in big cities all over the world. Have you ever visited one in Amsterdam?
No.
Japan is located in the Ring of Fire belt, where many volcanic eruptions and earthquakes occur. Is this the reason why we can motivate Japanese people more easily to participate in a Ring of Fire?
Yes.
Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish and the motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. Did you forget about Dre?
No.
Are your hands still made of diamonds when Bitcoin reaches the price of $1 million?
Yes.
Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?
No.
Welcome to the Connected World Weekly Podcast. I'm Edward.
And I'm Stef. We are ready to take you with us into the beautiful world of the Lightning Network.
Enjoy the ride. And this is episode 24 of Connected World. Stef, long time no see.
Hey, Edward, how are you doing, man?
Great, man. Thanks.
Yeah?
And you?
Yeah, a bit tired. But yeah, I'm doing fine, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, my wife has given birth to my second child last week.
Amazing.
So yeah. So yeah, it was a pretty busy weekend. And yeah, a bit tired now, as you can tell.
Yeah. Well, congrats again. And
yes, thank you,
of
man.
course, we need some cheering.
Yeah.
No, really. Amazing.
Yeah.
This is great news. And of course, you're very busy now.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks. And then I hope everything is going back to normal.
Yeah, I
again.
hope so too, man. And yeah, the most important is that they're both in great health. So yeah, we are really enjoying our time together now. And yeah,
That's important.
Judy is working
His ass off.
yeah, he's working his ass off indeed. So I'm not that busy in the Satoshi Radio Rings of Fire community now. I just have a little bit of time off to enjoy and to help my wife, of course.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
But I will be back soon.
We've got your back, so no
So
no problem.
thanks, Judy, and thanks, of course, to the team of the Connected World podcast, because you guys are doing an amazing job to spare me some time. So thanks.
That's nice. I think you saw the message. That was before your child was born. There was a member with a very strange name. I'm not gonna tell the name because it's difficult.
Maybe it's a part of its note URL
or it means
or
something, or it's a hex code or something.
Yeah,
perhaps it is.
Must be something
Yeah.
like that.
I can Google it, but it doesn't Triangle
duck
swap. I see something of a Lightning Network Plus. So I think
okay.
he's also a member
sense.
there. That makes sense. Yeah, exactly. And he asked, I'm going to quote, if I had 18.41 Bitcoin, that was the amount of Bitcoin we have in the whole Rings of Fire. I could open a channel with every node. So 18,410. Nodes in the public nodes, and then open 100k sets. Would that be profitable?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, well, there was a short discussion because I think it's an interesting question. Though the answer is, of course, that it wouldn't be profitable. But it's funny to think about it, and to open a channel to every node is, of course, not profitable.
No, and you have all the liquidity at your side, right? So
at one side.
So you can't route up until you spend some. But then again, the amount that you can route is very little because it's only the amount that you've spent. So it's interesting.
I said before that was the liquidity in the network, but it's of course the amount of nodes.
So the total amount of nodes in the visual nodes in the network.
And I was thinking what we said the other episode was about liquidity and dual funded channels and liquidity ads, so you can buy liquidity, and it's so important to have liquidity because if you're merchant, then of course you have a lot of incoming payments.
Yeah.
So that's important. And Jesse de Wit also reacted and said you will have a lot of unused channels and a few that are too small. Yeah, of course.
Maybe in a year or so, or maybe in 5 years or so.
And I think the channels need to be bigger because it's we're going to talk about that another episode. And who are we going to welcome this week?
We are welcoming Koji Higashi, and he's obviously the founder of the Japanese Lightning community Diamond Hands, and we know him from Lightning Crash and Nayuta Core. So we really wanted to talk with someone from a community from Asia. I think it's a very interesting talk, and I think because we see in our Rings of Fire community a lot of participants from our region or North America or South or Central America, but not a lot of from Asia. So I think it's good to get to know each other and
absolutely connecting the world, right? So
combine forces, right? So.
I've seen the website also. He's doing a great job there. Really.
Yeah. So that will be in the second part, Edward. And first, we have to talk a little bit about the statistics of the Lightning Network and, of course, about our Rings of Fire community.
Let's do that. All right.
Enjoy.
Enjoy it.
Spojte svět dohromady.
So last week, we had a little over 30.96 Bitcoin pushed into the Lightning Network. And this week, we added 80 million. So we are now at a total of 31.76 Bitcoin with around 1,100 members participating in over 140 rings.
Yeah, it's all round numbers.
Yeah.
And don't forget to check the map, map.ring.tools.
Map.rof.tools.
ROF, that's
so
it. Yeah.
It auto updates every 4 hours, so you can keep track of our progress.
Yeah. And now we're at block height 734,573. And if we look at the Lightning Network as a whole, there were 104 nodes more than last week. It's now 16,650. And we all added 57 Bitcoin more to the network. And it's now 3,731.
Nice.
And the value of 1 million Satoshis.
Yes,
what's gonna get me?
Satoshis is getting you $331, 313 euros, and 2,220 Chinese yuan.
Connect the world.
And the news of today. Well, I've got a lot. It's less than last week, but it's definitely still a lot. I'll start with Voltage. Recently, Voltage announced they delivered a node infrastructure service for Podcast Index. I think that's very nice news. And now they also released a case study about the Podcast Index with some interesting numbers. And for those who don't know what podcasting 2.0 is, it makes it possible for audiences to stream Satoshis directly to creators without an intermediate party. And it gives freedom for both creators like us and also for listeners. The case study stated that more than 6,400 value podcasts are distributed on podcasting 2.0. So that's a lot of podcasts, and more than 70,000 monthly transactions, and more than 1 million such streamed per day. So that's also amazing. Yeah, and our, like I said, our Connect the World podcast is also available to listen on all Podcasting 2.0 apps. So check it out. And then Taurus Exchange. Taurus is a Bitcoin exchange in Mexico, and they partnered with Ibex Mercado, and they are now the first there that have Lightning enabled on their exchange in Mexico. So that's bullish news. And then some community members tried it out. It's LN VPN. It's a VPN service where you can pay via Lightning per month, per week, per day, or per hour. And it uses WireGuard VPN client, and the keys are generated within the browser. So you can go to the link in the show notes and then pay with Satoshis with Lightning.
It's amazing that you can pay per hour,
use
right?
It. Yeah.
That's really what the Lightning network is making possible to...
That's an amazing feature to just use it for an hour when you need it from anywhere. Yeah. And pay with sats. Yeah. And then Lightning for Life. Roy Scheinfeld wrote a great article. I think it's a great article with the title Lightning for Life, how Lightning can and will integrate with the web. And he talks about the integration of internet and Lightning. All the developments like LN URL, for example, Lightning address, WebLN, LSATs, and Lightning Node Connect. You know LNC, right? Lightning Labs created that, and El Mouton explains it to us in episode 22. And he ends his article with the conclusion that in the future, everyone can choose the technology that best suits their needs. So let's end this with a quote that makes it bullish for the future. He says, integrating Lightning and the web was once an intimidating prospect, but no longer. We have a range of technologies for a range of use cases, a thriving community of developers innovating and perfecting the tech, and a world that already loves the web and is growing ever fonder of Bitcoin. So read it, guys and girls. The Medium link is in the show notes. And then the updates. At first is My Citadel wallet. I think it's new. It's an initial release of the wallet, and it supports hardware signing devices, also air-gapped and watch-only, Taproot support, and multi-sig with complex time lock conditions. That's interesting. And then LN Anchor output security issue. Bastien Teinturier, I think he's French, posted to the Lightning Dev mailing list the announcements of a security issue that affects older versions of Core Lightning with experimental features enabled. And LND, he strongly encouraged you to upgrade. He is from Async, by the way. Okay. And then LN Gossip Rate Limiting. Alex Misers posted to the Lightning Dev mailing list about his research to reduce the amount of bandwidth used by nodes for learning about updates to the LN channel graph. And I think that's very interesting. He uses a method that, he assumes all pairs have almost the same information about almost all the same public channels. So he found something smart. He says this builds, and I quote, on some earlier work from Rusty Russell using Minisketch library. The idea is that each node will build a sketch representing its own gossip set. So Alice's node will encode and transmit this sketch to Bob's node, where it will be merged with his own sketch and the differences produced. So one peer can then generate a mini sketch from its complete graph to the public network and send that to all of its peers, who can use mini sketch to find any updates to the network since its last reconciliation. I've put the link also in the show notes. And then I have L&D news. Well, Kluk from episode 1 from Cheesebot shared a recently closed GitHub issue to help disk space reduction and the crazy channels database file growth. So I think it's interesting. I didn't try it, but I've put a link in the show notes. And then Lightning Development Kit, there were 3 issues that were solved. Add support for Wumbo channels, and adds new Bitcoin D-config and Bitcoin D-RPC cookie configuration options to override the default auto detection logic, and also updates the sign RPC method to be able to create signatures using a Mosaic2 algorithm. And the last one is bolts. Gossip query compression was removed from the spec. The ability to compress queries and results about the Lightning Network Graph wasn't being used. It was built there for mobile use, I think, and it was removed, and it now reduces complexity and bandwidth usage. That was it.
Conecte o mundo.
Yeah, so let's have a look at the rings forecast. Well, as I already mentioned, the jury is taking double shifts. So please be a bit patient. If one of the polls is filling up or are complete, jury will invite you into the subgroup for the ring. I saw that the 5 million Satoshis 19th ring is already opened and the 3 million Satoshis 18th ring is about to open. So please, be a bit patient. Then we have plenty of spots left at the other ring. So if you want to join a Ring of Fire with starting with 500k up until 50 million Satoshis and everything in between, please join our Telegram group and you will find plenty of spots. Then the ring stories, the anecdotes. Last week we balanced the 2 million Satoshis 21st ring, always a nice number. And it was turbo time because it was Turbo Buzz again who did his magic. Well organized as always. Unfortunately, we had to pay some fees for the transaction, but we will make sure that everyone will make it up with Turbo. Nice job again, Buzz. It was a Turbo as always. Within this ring, there were node operators from Norway, France, USA, and Netherlands. Then we had the 1 million Satoshis 38th ring. Sleeping in on the weekend, not for this ring, with people from Mexico, Europe, Australia. We had a time difference of plus minus 16 hours between all participants. Our ringleader, ENIAC Lightning, prepared well, and although for the Europeans it was very early in the morning, including for jury because he was the master of ceremony, everyone was present and lowered their fees at exactly the right time, and therefore this ring was managed to balance the ring with 0 fees. So nice. Amazing job. Yeah, I think this is really amazing because again, if you are in completely different time zones, it can be a hell to get things organized. But I think it's real team effort. So congrats to all node operators from Holland, Germany, Swiss, Australia, and Mexico. And then last but not least, we have the 3 million Satoshi 17th ring. Experienced ringleader Franco Guanganago not only knows his ring tools, but also his music. As soon as the balancing started, a carefully chosen soundtrack even caused the obligatory cat gifts to get in the zone. It took exactly the duration of the song to balance the ring after the chosen time. Sounds good, right? Well done, and enjoy your freshly balanced channels. And within this ring, we had node operators from, I think it's Italy, Germany, Holland, and the USA.
So Franco is from Italy, I think, then?
I guess I can check.
Franco Quaguanco. Yeah, it sounds south.
Yeah, it's
Southern.
definitely Mediterranean. I think he's from. It must be because he's obviously not from Holland or Germany or the USA. So he's definitely from Italy. So muy bien.
Muy bien.
That's it. Then that's Spanish.
That's Spain.
Yeah. Muito bene. Muito bene.
Well, Koji is a Terminator fan, so we can terminate this part, Stef. And thanks. And let's go to the lightning notes. Let's do it.
Helt knut. Wel.
Make sure to secure your home network. So change default passwords and use two-factor authentication where possible. And keep your software up to date. That's also very important. Please keep in mind that the whole Lightning network is very experimental. Software like MyNode, Umbrel, Raspberry Blitz, for example, and many others, and LND also, are still in beta phase. Don't blindly run terminal commands on your node if you don't understand them yourself, and especially when prefixed with sudo. And the last one is also very important. Don't use Satoshis that you're not willing to lose. So if you're not aware of all security considerations, then read into it. Educate yourself, read articles, ask for help in Telegram groups with high reputation like ours, and listen to podcasts and learn by doing. Otherwise, don't participate.
Also, you can stay informed by following us on Twitter. You can find us at Satoshi Radio ROF. And follow our Lightning leader, Jonī Kyasshu. Join our Telegram groups, Satoshi Radio, Ring of Fire, and Connect the World. And check our website, satoshi.radio. It would be nice for you to be part of our Amboss community. You can find us there on Satoshi Radio. And like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Use Podcasting 2.0 to listen to Connect the World. And you can check SATA trading for the current value. You can find all this information, of course, also in the show notes as well.
All right, let's get on to the show.
Conecta el mundo.
Welcome, Koji. We're excited to have you on our show. How are you, man?
Good.
Well, welcome. Good to see you, Koji.
Yeah, good to see you guys for the first time. We were, communicating on Telegram group. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we saw you in the group, and interesting to follow all the
good questions, by the way. Yes, no. Thanks. I like the first one. I was like, orange, maybe.
You need to say yes, but you can't.
No, of course, because it needs to be red.
Hey, and you like to play basketball yourself, right?
I do, yeah.
But how big is the sport then in Japan?
In Japan, it's not that big, but in Taiwan, it's actually bigger. And there's a lot of basketball courts outside. And you can play like at a park, at a school. But I got injured a while ago, and I'm still kind of rehabbing. Yeah.
Too bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
but and what kind of player are you? Are you tall then? Because you need to be a bit tall. No?
No, I'm not that good. I'm mostly like playing for fun, and I also like watching. I mean, there's a NBA playoff going on right now, so I'm watching some of the games.
Cool. And who is the best player then from Japan? But it's not Yuta Watanabe, but
yeah, I was surprised you guys know Yuta Watanabe, but there's another guy. What's his name? Rui Hachimura. I think he's a better player than Yuta.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean, we can talk about NBA forever, but
No. Hey, you set up all these projects, right? And we are going to talk about some of them.
Mhm.
But there are so many. We can't talk about them all. But can you maybe tell us more about Bitcoiner Hans Sekai and Bitcoin Lab in a nutshell?
So Bitcoiner Hans Sekai. Well, it's Japanese. It's English meaning it's basically Bitcoiner review. So we review some news and what's happened in the industry. And it's probably the oldest Bitcoin show in Japan, YouTube show. And I've been running it for 6 years now, something like that, 6 or 7. And but I don't really record it too often anymore. I still maintain a monthly episode, but that's what it is. But it has a lot of kind of OGs in Japan tend to watch that show. That's what
Cool.
it is. And the other one, Bitcoin Lab, is basically a study group in Japanese. So it's nothing big or serious, but that's kind of a research media group we were running back in the days. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice because education is very important, of course. And
Yep.
is it also about Lightning or Bitcoin only, or does it touch it?
I don't write for it anymore too often, but yeah, a lot of it is actually about Lightning as well. Some technical stuff. Others as well.
Interesting. Yeah. And well, you have a role in Diamond Hands community, of course. How do you manage it, Diamond Hands? And what is it?
So, yeah, good question. What is it? So
It's a big community.
Yeah, not many people know about it. So it's basically a Lightning Network user and developer community in Japan. And we started it in June last year. And initially we thought we can just announce something and just try to recruit other node operators in Japan, or maybe encourage them to run full nodes. And we initially expected maybe like 20 or 30 people will join and we'll exchange information about routing. But it ended up becoming more popular than we kind of expected ourselves. And now there are like probably more than 200, close to 300 node users in Japan and joining the group. And we're also trying to connect the world, basically, right? Connect with other communities and 世界をつなぐ. The first time real Japanese person say this, I guess. 世界をつなぐ. So that's something we're trying to do more this year. So
nice.
It's a great opportunity for me to kind of connect with you guys and
exactly.
get on the show as well.
Yeah, we already had a chat in the Telegram group, and we are actively searching for people from Asia because we are pretty good connected to America and Europe, obviously, but Asia is still missing a bit. We have some participants from Japan, and I'm pretty sure they come over from Diamond Hands, but it would be great to add more, and not only Japan, but maybe also Taiwan or other Asian countries. Because that's our mission, right?
What I find interesting is that you just said from June last year, and then I think, the roller coaster Stefan and I and the whole community is in. It's just so young still.
Yeah.
And so we're connecting right now, and we're connecting. We'll be connecting a lot in the future. I think, Stef and Koji.
Yep.
Yeah, this is only the start. So it's interesting that these communities exist, and we'll work together someday. So
definitely. Yeah. It's important.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
Hey guys, we have a lot of more questions about your vision on the Lightning Network, and actually we want to talk about 2 more projects of you, Koji. So. Or maybe projects that you are not working on actively now, but which you started. But it has to be in the 21 minutes. So, Koji, if you are ready, and Edward, if you're also ready, we would like to enter that part, guys. Are you ready?
Yep.
Cool, let's do it.
All right.
Connect the world.
So, Lightning Crush is a Lightning game you made in May 2021. How did you came up with this idea?
So initially, I was working with Nayuta. Nayuta is one of the most famous Lightning Network companies in Japan and one of the oldest. They've been early contributors to Lightning Network protocol as well. And I was working with them and helped build Nayuta Core, which is their non-custodial mobile wallet. And we had a cool feature where you can stream Lightning payments non-custodial in a non-custodial way, and then you could do that with one game called Sarutobi. So you can basically connect the wallet link the wallet with Sarutobi, the game, and user can just play the game and get sats in a non-custodial way. So that was a cool feature. But the issue was there's no other games that had that feature. So I was talking to other game developers, etc. But I felt maybe it's just faster if I build it myself, because I had a basic idea and there are some great Unity assets that I can just buy So I basically bought a Unity asset for Candy Crush type game, and basically integrate Lightning in it with help from Christian Moss from ZeBeDee, and also he's the founder of Manodak. So that's kind of how it started. So I'm like, okay, sounds like a pretty easy thing to do. I just need to buy a Unity asset
Exactly.
and get Lightning in it. Easy. Let's just do it. So that's kind of how it started.
Nice. Yeah, that's a nice way to get started with that. And you believe that you don't need $1 million to get a lot of users, and that sometimes one set can go a long way. Can you explain the role of Lightning Crush and Diamond Hands in this context?
Definitely, yeah. This is a great question and something I'm very interested in and passionate about recently. So micropayments with Lightning is kind of interesting and cool. And, for Lightning Crush, for example, what's cool about it is as users, game players make a combo in the game, I tip them 1 Satoshi real time. So like real time tipping, and every time you make a combo, you get the 1 Sat immediately. Yeah. So that feeling is pretty cool, right? But some people could argue it's just 1 Satoshi. Like, why would you try that hard for 1 Satoshi, 10 Satoshis, or even 1,000 Satoshis are still not much. And especially there are some projects and companies in the crypto industry in general. They, give you a lot of tokens and gamify. Some of the game assets are sold for $1 million or something like that, some crazy amount, right? So some people will probably think that Lightning micropayments, okay, that's fine, but it's not as cool as some other crypto projects, right? But my view is a little bit different. And this is something Lightning people are not really actively talking about, in my opinion. But the issue with plugging expensive tokens in the game or gamify, for example, it just changes the goal of the game. It's all about money now, right? It's not about enjoying the game or from the developer perspective, build the best game you can, or try to have players enjoy or love the game. It's about coming up with a token, some crappy token economics to pay you 200% APY or something like that. So it just changes the whole incentive and motivation. And I think it works to attract users in short term, but it just kind of destroys the game concept. And that's one of the reasons existent game companies are not necessarily big fans of NFTs, because it just destroys the current relationship with the company and game players. Yeah. On the other hand, Lightning Network, it just gives you 1 Satoshi or 10 Satoshis. It's not much, right? But at the same time, it doesn't destroy the relationship with the game player and the company. It actually augments it. It could make the relationship better. Like I said, Lightning Crush doesn't really tip you $1 million, a lot of money. But still, people appreciate I tip them directly on Lightning 10 Satoshis as they play the game, or 50 Satoshis, right? So I think this is a very, very interesting aspect of micropayments and micropayment rewards that we can take advantage of, or we should be more aware of, in my opinion, because 10 Satoshis is not much, but it definitely changes how you feel about the game, or how you feel about spending your time playing a particular game. So to me, that's a really important point.
Yeah, the relationship. I think that's interesting. Yeah,
totally agree. And well, if we leave out all of the economics, right, and we leave out all of the funds, basically you have unlimited funds. What kind of Lightning game would you like to develop in the future then?
Well, it's more about my time than money, I guess. But I actually had an idea and wanted to build it, but now my Diamond Hands and other activities are getting kind of busy. But one thing I can think of is combining Lightning and NFT. And I know a lot of Bitcoin people don't like NFTs, and I understand why. Because it's kind of a buzzword, and they're overpriced, etc.
Yeah.
But before doing Lightning, I was actually one of the early adopters of NFTs on Bitcoin. We didn't have the term NFTs at the time, but that's what basically we were doing. So I am one of very few people who have experience in both Lightning and NFT, and they could be an interesting match for gaming as well. So that's something I would probably do.
Interesting. Yeah. And
have you guys heard of Rare Pepe and that kind of stuff? Counterparty. That's what I was involved in before spending more time on Lightning.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. And do you think ZeBeDee wallet will be the leading wallet implementation for all games in the future?
Maybe, but I'm not sure. ZeBeDee is definitely a leading company for Lightning gaming now. But as you guys know, the market of Lightning Network right now is relatively small and it's wide open. So maybe some other companies step up and maybe they'll take the lead. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah. But I'm supporting ZeBeDee. There are some good friends of mine and I like them. I like what they're doing, but honestly, I don't know.
No.
Cool. Oh. And maybe it will be one of your next projects, because you like to start things up and then leave it to other people to finish. For example, the Lightning Course, Nayuta Core, Diamond Hands, Bitcoin Lab. What will be your next project then? And you already mentioned that you're limited in time, but besides these games, what will be your next project?
So my main project is Diamond Hands now. And as I said, when we started, we didn't really expect it to grow that big. But now it kind of grew and there's a lot of users, and expectation is not just about researching about routing economics. It's becoming more about education, also building a product, or maybe running more experiments with Lightning. So there's a lot of things we can do, and I'm spending more time on that. And Lightning Crash, for example, I built it and I proved the concept and actually gave it away to Christian, who's maintaining the game now. So I'm not actively building or maintaining it anymore. But for me, Diamond Hands is more than just building a product. It's more about building a bigger community and basically help more people build better products and educate enterprises and stuff like that. Also, routing is a very important factor in that. So I think my skill set and experience is a very good fit for doing something like that. And so Diamond Hands to me is the most important project right now. Cool. And I'll be committed to it for a while, for sure.
Nice.
Well, and we have two questions more about Nayuta Core. We would like to ask. It is a non-custodial Bitcoin and Lightning network wallet, and you help with a startup, like you just said. What makes its wallet so special?
It's one of a very few fully non-custodial and self-managing wallet now. As you guys probably know, there's Breeze and Phoenix. And I like Breeze and Phoenix. They're great, but they don't really let you manage your channel, right? They actually kind of do it for you in the background for the sake of UX. And also they have to make money by charging fees, etc.
Of course.
I mean, so there's a different trade-off. I like them. I like their products. They're great. On the other hand, Nayuta Core is fully non-custodial. It's the same as what Async had before. I forgot what Eclair wallet.
Eclair wallet. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a trade-off, and it's much harder to use fully non-custodial wallet like that. But I think in the future we'll find different use cases for managing your own channels or choosing a node which you connect to. So I think this is a special kind of different part than any other wallets. And also UI is kind of different and looks pretty cool. We worked on that together. It looks kind of different from other wallets. So yeah.
And do you see Nayuta Core also as an inspiration for other companies to focus on the combination of a non-custodial solution and user-friendliness then?
I hope so, but I'm not sure.
Time will tell.
Yeah, because that's also interesting if you can set the course for others to be inspired, just like that.
I think regulation for custodial wallets become more strict. There is more need for user-friendly non-custodial wallets like Nayuta Core.
And you see the movement right now. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Hey, and then, Koji, what was in fact your first experience with the Lightning Network? And do you still know what you did at that time?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think that was with Async, Eclair wallet, probably testnet. And I didn't really understand how the whole thing worked yet, but I played with it and opened my channel, sent a payment, etc. And then when I made my first payment, I had a very similar feeling as when I made my first on-chain transaction. It's like, I don't really understand, but this is cool. There's something going on, and there's there's potential. It's very similar feeling. Also, I am probably the first person, aside from the developer himself, first person to buy a cup of coffee with real Lightning payment. When I was visiting the US, I saw a tweet from Alex, what's his last name? Forgot.
Bosworth?
Alex Bosworth. Yeah, that's him. He said, I set up a Lightning payment at this coffee shop or something.
Yeah.
And I happened to be in the US in the Bay Area. So I saw it and like, okay, I gotta go. And I did. And I was the first real customer to try that and pay for it. So that's an accomplishment.
and was it as simple as it is now, or was it more difficult, or?
It was pretty simple. I think. I mean, now it's definitely tools are much, much better. But I already kind of knew how Lightning worked and how to manage the channel capacity, etc. So yeah, I didn't really have an issue.
You had enough outbound liquidity.
Yeah, that's the importance.
Yeah, I know.
And what security concerns of the Lightning Network do you think that are undervalued nowadays?
Probably a hot wallet management, hot wallet security.
Yeah, of course.
Any guests talked about it before? Not sure.
Yeah, we had some guests, I think, that we're talking about that. Well, the precautions, of course, to think about, but not the because it is a concern, of course, if you don't read into it.
Right. I think it's a big concern. Yeah. And if you're a large exchange like Bitfinex, Kraken, losing like 10 BTC, for example, they're like, yeah, whatever. Right. But for regular people like me and maybe probably you guys as well, like, putting a lot of money for routing is kind of risky, or I don't feel too comfortable yet. So this is something I'm very concerned about. And if it doesn't improve, most people cannot compete with kind of larger nodes run by companies, right? And so this is this affects everything, decentralization of the network, etc.
Yeah. And what do you think is the most promising implementation on layer 2 on Bitcoin? Do you think it's C Lightning, Async, LND, or another?
I'm probably not the best person to ask that question, but we use LND, and because it has the most apps and most users now. But obviously, as the node gets larger, we're experiencing a lot of issues, and zero fee routing brought up this issue recently, and he switched to C Lightning, Core Lightning. So different trade-offs. I don't really have any favorite. We will use whatever works for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do you also use node management services like LN Node Insight or LN Router or something else to get the best out of your node?
Actually, not really, but I should spend more time using or checking them. I think they're great, LN Router, what they're doing. And I'm also a big fan of Lightning Plus. They allow you to form Lightning triangles or Ring of Fire.
Rings of Fire, yeah.
Yeah, those are great services. So I have used them.
But I think, Koji, you need to join a Ring of Fire then. Because
I know.
I also know LN Plus, and I think it's perfect. But it's like a Ring of Fire is so much more social. You get to know everyone within the ring, and you talk about it, and you share your visions on the network.
And it's a great learning experience. Yeah,
you guys have a really great community, very active, and as I said, I am planning to help other Japanese node operators join your Rings of Fire, but
Yeah, cool.
There's a huge language barrier for most Japanese users.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I have to kind of write an article how to do that, etc. So
because I
more.
heard you talk about it to build some or community companies or something in Japan. It's very important to make it native in language.
Yeah.
I had another question. In November last year, you had some issues with cheating.
Cheating, right?
Yeah. What security problems did you have?
With that was with Lightning Crash.
Yeah.
So the concept is basically you play the game and we pay you a little bit of, a few sats, right?
Yeah.
And there's always cheaters if you give away free sats, right? And
Of
they
course.
hack into the client side code and, just beat each level in 2 seconds or something like that. So we had to make a lot of modifications to kind of combat those cheating, etc. And this is actually a very huge problem, and something ZeBeDee, for example, a larger game company, they're also trying to address this issue as well. Otherwise, real game companies, game studios cannot integrate Lightning in their application, right? So I think there's still a lot of things we can explore in terms of cheat prevention. Maybe we can use micropayments in order to prevent cheating as well, right? Maybe there's something we can do with Lightning to actually help solve that as well. But yeah, I had a lot of my pot was drained by some random users from Bangladesh or something. I'm like, oh, what's going on? And I had to look into it. And yeah, it was not easy sometimes.
No, I can imagine that. Hey, and how can we influence or motivate more users to adopt Lightning? You are already doing this in a small way with your community, of course. But can you maybe think of more things we can do?
The first part of the question was
how can we influence or motivate users more to adopt Lightning more? So people are already using Bitcoin and get them over to use Lightning.
That's a very difficult question. But having communities like Diamond Hands, Ring of Fire, PlebNet is definitely a very, very important concept, I think. I think building a functional community in a way is more important than building a successful company for Lightning in a way, because it's the backbone for all those companies. And if we don't have a community like Ring of Fire, for example, it's going to be 10 times more difficult to build a successful Lightning company there, I believe.
Yeah.
So we can actually play a very important role here, I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, education.
Yeah, like Bitcoin Lab.
What else? There's a lot of things we need to do, and that's the thing. That's what I'm busy with recently. I have to write a report, and I have to research routing. Talking to other community members like you guys, and building a product ourselves, or running experiments. We are running actually a simple merchant experiment now in Japan. So different things we can do, but communities are very important.
Yeah. Do you think it's more important to raise attention to the use cases of Lightning instead of only building tools that you let earn sats, or focusing on gains? So some other funny use cases, more playful, I think.
It's hard to say. I think both are important. It just depends on what you're good at and what you want to do. If you like to build a game or application, you should definitely do that. But in general, I think it's more important to build something that you can show to other people, or that solve real problems, than just talking about potential use cases. So I'm more for building an application. But at the same time, people often misunderstand what Lightning Network is for. They only say like, oh, it's for payment. Or you can, the fee goes from $1 to 1 sat. This is great, but that's it. But in my opinion, Lightning is more than that. So you can build different applications on top of Lightning. And
like Sphinx, for example.
Sphinx is a great example, And also, what's the other one? But, different use cases, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people misunderstand Lightning in that aspect.
Hey, and what do you think is the reason that Bitcoin or the Lightning adoption is lagging a bit in Asia than when compared to other parts of the world?
It's in Asia, not much is happening with Lightning right now, unfortunately. So, but that's a great question, and thanks for asking. We're trying to change that, right? So, what we're doing with Diamond Hands in Japan, and also we recently made an announcement with Taiwan BitDevs, so trying to do something similar in Taiwan as well, and we're trying to play a bigger role for Lightning adoption in Asia. So, but it's gonna take more time. It's not easy, really. Yeah.
No, we can tell. Yeah, it needs a lot of work. That's for sure.
And we can help, of course. Yeah. I think it's a really important thing, and there are a lot of. I see here a question that we wanted to ask, but you once told something about Volt, Casa, and Umbrel, and there are a lot more applications that really help the adoption more and put it in the hands of more people because it's easier. Yeah. So sorry we failed to get all the answers on all our questions, but we hope if you like you can come back another time in our show. We would love that.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't answered the question from the last guest.
No, we are getting there.
You're getting there. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes, we are getting there.
But we'll know that you'll be back sometime, so that's nice. Yeah.
Conectar el mundo.
Yes, because we can tell you saw one of our previous episodes because you know that we still have one question left. It's more of a surprise to our guests, but you already know. So last week we had Fiat on our show, and he is known as a real Lightning guru. He developed the LNTX bot, of course. He's a programmer, and he is all about decentralization and experimenting. So we asked Fiat to come up with a question from you. Edward will play the audio file, and then you may ask him. You may answer it.
Here it comes.
So I know he develops games. So my question is, how can we make, or if it's possible, how can we make a game that has Satoshis integrated into it, and it's not play to earn? Because that model doesn't make good games, I think, in the long run. And also not pay to win, like you buy stuff and you use that stuff to smash your opponents. Like a game that has good incentives and mixes Satoshis.
Okay, so first of all, Fiat Jeff is amazing. He's like a real builder. He builds so many things, and it's amazing. So shout out to that. And my answer to his question is his question is basically how can we integrate Lightning in gaming without like changing the incentive, without kind of messing up the incentive. That's how I understand it. Mm-hmm. And we actually discussed it today a little bit, but my answer is Lightning. So we can use micropayments to improve the relationship with the users and the company or the developer without disrupting or changing the end goal for the game. So the goal for games is to have build a very interesting game or players enjoy playing the game, right? Not about like making a lot of money or like trying to sell items to other people. So that's how Lightning can be helpful. Basically augment the current relationship with players and companies. So that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks. Yeah, it's nice to think about it this way. Yeah. Well, next time we have a new guest, AZ Huddle, a husband and wife team from Arizona. They're all about sustainability, Lightning, and mining. We still don't know if we get Peter or Karen in the show, but we want to ask him or her a question from you. Which question can we ask him or her?
Yeah, AZ Huddle, I know them by their node. I don't know them personally, but there's some routing between our nodes sometimes. But my question to them is, do you guys think Lightning routing will be something like Bitcoin mining, which is a very profitable business, or this is going to be more of a hobby thing for most individuals, and we cannot make a lot of money by routing? So that's my question.
Cool. Yeah. Nice question. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people want to know that. So
I know. I'm very curious as well.
Helt knap. Wel.
Well, Koji, thanks for being on the show. And we will see you next time, of course.
Yes, thanks. It was a very nice chat, Koji. Where can people follow you if they want? Can you maybe tell us where to find you on Twitter or?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, and also there's diamondhandsnode.com, which is the official website for Diamond Hands. And we recently announced we're expanding our routing incentive to all nodes, all participating nodes. Basically, we give away some sats to nodes who open channels to our node and reward them based on their channel size, routing volume, etc. So if you guys are interested, definitely check it out, and let's try to route even more transactions together, basically.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah. That's a real shout out. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, thanks again, Koji. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on.
Sure.
You're most welcome. Yeah. And thanks for listening. And thanks to all members participating in the Satoshi Radio Rings of Fire. And of course, thanks to everyone helping to connect the world with us. If you like our content, please share and support our mission. Visit our website, connecttheworld.live, where you can donate and subscribe, like, and share our content on your favorite platform or Podcasting 2.0 platform. And remind you, of course, we need you to complete our mission, connect the world. Keep those nodes running and sets flowing and rings burning. And see you all next time with AZ Huddle on this same Lightning channel. Do widzenia, Koji.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Sayonara.